And finally, my dad was like, look, if you don't do this, you cannot ever step foot in this house again. You will be out on the streets. And it's
Which, like,
it's
that's
over.
such a crazy thing to be a parent and have a child that you're supposed to love.
Yeah. And I was like...
That's something you do if you had a kid that was, like, a serial killer or, like...
Yeah, Nazis are pretty f***ing gay.
Yeah.
Lady in the Trans podcast. Where we believe in science. We don't believe in God. Only science. Science will solve all the problems. That's the trans agenda.
Trans people in science gonna save the day.
Solve the problems with us. With science. Science, bitch.
Science and my trans agenda, I'm returning trans.
Welcome.
Hello. It's time.
It is time.
We promised this was coming, and it is here.
It's here.
At long last. You've waited for ages. You've been dying to hear. This is the Lady and the Trans podcast.
It is.
I am a lady named Chloe,
I'm a lady named Laura.
and we're talking about going no contact with your family.
Yes.
Last week, we told Laura's story,
We did.
and now we're going to tell mine.
Let's do it.
So let's fucking go. Before we do that, go ahead and like and subscribe and
Comment.
I mean, comment after. Don't comment yet. That'd be crazy. But you don't
What
even
if they
have
wanna
anything to
comment-
comment to.
What if they want to comment now and then
Okay.
comment later?
Well, now they're going to, because we're making it a big deal. Now we're just going to have a bunch of comments being like, I can't wait to see what's going to happen when I finally watch this. Every time.
I'm going to comment nothing
So
because
far,
you told me to.
so far, every single time that we have said, someone's going to say this, someone says exactly that verbatim. There's always one comment that says verbatim the thing that we're like, someone's probably going to say this. They always do it. So, challenge.
Yeah, not challenge accepted, but challenge
Challenge
presented.
presented.
There we go.
Love it. Okay. All right. So, where do I start? This is a crazy topic.
It's like hard unless you want to go through your whole life story.
Right.
I
don't
had
wanna-
a hard time gathering my thoughts
I
too.
don't want to give my whole life story, but like the stuff that, so like a lot of people, especially with trans people, assume that the falling out happened because you came out as trans,
Yes.
right? Like that's such a typical story.
Yeah.
But I broke up with my parents prior to coming out. And I think when I did it, I knew that I was probably going to come out. And I think part of my decision was like projecting them so that they couldn't reject me because I knew it would hurt too much.
So you went no contact with them before you came out then?
Yes.
And you feel it, I mean, it would make sense. So you were trying to like
Yeah.
get rid of them. So yeah.
I went no contact with my dad years before I knew I was trans. I went no contact with my older sister before. I think I knew I was trans and I decided I wasn't going to talk to her anymore before I knew I was going to come out. And it wasn't because of that. And then when I went no contact with my mom, it also wasn't because I was going to come out as trans, but it was like, it was an imminent decision. And I think as I told her I wasn't going to talk to her anymore, I told her I was trans. I like put those messages together in the same message. And I was like, just so you know, this isn't why I'm doing this. Here's the million other reasons why I'm doing this. But also, I just want you to know that I am trans and I'm going to start transitioning. And then blocked her so that I couldn't get a response because I didn't want to know what it was going to be.
I feel that, yeah.
And honestly, my mom is like the one person who eventually like was kind of cool with it.
Kind of came around to
You know,
it,
like
yeah.
my sister was the one who was like, "You're infested with demons." Like
Your sister is psychotic.
She's the craziest one. She's by far the least accepting. She's a nightmare person.
What? Okay, so remember, like right after the election, we were getting your passport. I remember.
Yes.
We were trying to get mine.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing. We're not going to get into that. But that day, was that the last day you talked to her? Because I remember she was texting you shit that was pissing me off. And
That probably was the last
I
time.
think so. Because I remember you showed
But
me.
I had like gone no contact with her several times before that, and
Yeah.
then like felt guilty about it. You know, there's always a guilt
I
thing
get
to
you,
it, and
yeah.
like we had a very interesting, strange dynamic because she was the person when we were kids where I felt like she was the only person who I could go talk to about my real feelings.
Yeah.
I felt like she was like the one person who I was like, I can't tell mom and dad this because they would bully me or judge me or abuse me or punish me for it. I, later found out that she would then just go turn around and tell our parents anyway. Like she was the snitch of the family.
Goody two shoes.
She was so deep in the like Catholic guilt thing that she was like, if
Yeah.
I know something and I don't tell my parents, I'm going to go to hell.
Yeah.
And so eventually figured out that like I can't even trust her with my own personal shit. But I also felt like she was on the same page with me and I was very, very wrong about this, but I felt like she was on the same page with me in like questioning the religion, the Catholicism that we were being brought up in.
When was this?
This was like childhood.
Yeah.
Because when I was, and this is honestly one of the like initial deciding moments where I was like, I don't think these relationships are going to go the distance. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't think I'm going to be talking to my parents forever. Because when I was 16, 17, I can't remember exactly, Catholicism has this thing called confirmation, which is one of the, I can't even remember what they're called anymore. It's like one of the important rituals that you're supposed to go through as a Catholic. It's the last one where you basically pledge your life to Catholicism. And I, at that point, had known for a few years that I didn't believe any of it.
Yeah.
I was like, there might be some spiritual shit going on. I don't know, but I know that these rules are not it.
Yeah.
I know you're wrong. I
yeah.
don't
it's
think
just like morally not correct. Yeah.
I don't think I know what is right, but I do think I know this is wrong.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, okay, well, you're going to get confirmed. And I was like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, you're going to because it's very important to us. And I was like, I know it's like, because I don't believe it, it feels like a frivolous thing, just like getting in front of a bunch of people in a Catholic church and being like, I pledge my life to this church. Like ultimately that's meaningless.
Yeah.
But also like on principle, I was like, I just don't want to. Like,
yeah, because it's not something you believe.
Right. It's like, I just feel like you want me to go through a giant lie.
Yeah.
For your pleasure and for my discomfort.
Yeah.
I like fought them and fought them and fought them. And finally, my dad was like, look, if you don't do this, you cannot ever step foot in this house again. You will be out on the streets. And it's
that's
over.
such a crazy thing to be a parent and have a child that you're supposed to love and be like, if you don't believe in my religion, you're out of my house. Like,
yeah. And I was
that's something you do if you had a kid that was like a serial killer or like diddling other kids. Like,
doing
they
something
don't want to
wrong.
do your religious beliefs, so you're going to disown this kid, the person you brought into life.
All right, we are going to get right back to the episode, but really quickly, we wanted to talk about the fact that at the end of the month, at the end of April, on about the 29th probably, we are going to be launching a Patreon.
Yes, we are.
And we wanted to also throw it out to you a little bit. We had some ideas for the type of content we want to make, but we also want to know what type of content you would want from us.
Yes, so leave a comment in the
leave
comment
a
section.
comment.
Let us know what you would like to see if you are
send us an
interested in our
email,
Patreon.
ladyandthetranspodcast@gmail.com. You can email us if there's a specific type of thing that you like that we do, that you'd like to see more of, that we can do exclusively for the Patreon.
Yes.
We wanted to do like get ready with me's.
Yes.
You can, get ready with us. We'll just, if you
do
enjoy
our hair and makeup, have a chat,
Yeah, if you enjoy our general friendship dynamic, you can see us interacting with each other prior
raw,
to
uncut, just bullshitting.
So raw. So uncut. And also we wanted to play Magic. and
Yeah, we
just
were going to record ourselves playing Magic the Gathering if you're interested in that.
full games on there, maybe multiple a couple games a month.
We have some ideas for like little short films we were going to put up that
Yeah,
you could like pay to
just-
see.
But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it. But we want to, it's for you. You're the one who would be
Yes.
paying for it.
So if you have suggestions and you would be interested in our Patreon, what would you like to see on there?
yeah,
Let us know.
What do you want from us?
What do you want? What do you want?
We're going to give you what we want, but we also want to give you what you want.
We got to give the people what they want,
Gotta
you know?
get the people going.
Yes. It's provocative or yeah.
It's exactly what it is. It will be provocative.
Very provocative.
Cool. Well, we're going to get back to your regularly scheduled entertainment. So thanks for listening.
Thanks for
Let
listening.
us know. We want to know. And I was like, just like a nerdy little kid who was getting straight A's and like played Magic the Gathering and like
It's so
didn't cause a problem with anybody. I like wrote a lot of comic books. I was a novelist. At this point, I'd already written 8 novels. One of which I had written so that I could go
like, Dad, I'm a novelist. I'm not supposed to pledge my life to the Catholic Church.
Yeah. But like one of those novels I had written so that I could go see the movie Hellboy, because my mom had a very strict rule in our household. There were no devil movies allowed. If the devil was involved in the movie, it was absolutely not.
I remember you said your mom wouldn't let you see that movie because the word hell was in
the
it,
word
right?
hell
Which
is yeah. So she just
crazy.
assumed if the word hell is in the title, it must be about Satan. And I was like, it's a comic book character. He's from an alternate dimension. They call him Hellboy because he's red. He's not from hell. That's just like a joke that they have, an inside joke that the characters have. They call him Hellboy because he's a red monkey guy. Like, that's it. It's not a big deal. And she was like, no. And I I put together like a PowerPoint presentation to explain like
Convince her to let you see
Yes.
Hellboy?
yes. And at the end of the PowerPoint presentation, she was like, look, if you write me a 100-page book that has no violence and no swearing, I will let you see the film.
What the fuck? The mental gymnastics your mama do. Some of the shit you tell me, because you tell me a lot about like your upbringing. Like some of the rules your mom had and like just the hoops she was jumping through to like have her little like this is how things should be. I feel like I'm having a stroke listening to her set of rules.
Honestly, it
like,
doesn't make any sense.
what the
Yeah.
fuck?
So obviously, I cut some corners. I had the font size at like 14.5, make it a little bit bigger than it should be. I picked the typeface that was like the biggest, widest text, and I like brought the margins in just a little bit so the less text could fit on a line. But I did get to 100 pages. I ended up writing a 100-page book that I called Funnyville that featured no violence.
Do you still have Funnyville?
I guarantee my mom does in her basement somewhere. I guarantee it's somewhere. And I
wish you had it.
And I was
wanna
like,
read
what
it.
the fuck is a book supposed to be about if there's no violence and no swearing? At this point, remember, I'm like a 13-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everything I've ever seen in my life has at least one of those
Yeah,
things,
exactly.
you know? And I finally came up with this premise that there was like an island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean that had a civilization on it that was untouched by the outside world, and they had just never discovered violence. Like everyone was peaceful. I basically wrote a socialism book. And then like a boat crash lands on the island, and the guys in the boat are jewel thieves. And they figure out that this island is like sitting on top of this huge diamond mine. And they're like, we're going to get rich. And so they like basically try to convince all the people that they should be allowed to dig a big hole on the side of the island. And the people are like, it feels weird, but like, okay. And then like they ultimately figure out that like these guys are after these diamonds, and they're like, oh, those are worthless to us. Like, sure, have them, and just give them all the diamonds. And they're like, oh, we didn't even have to like try to trick these people. They totally would have just given us the diamonds. Like, that's cool.
Like, cool.
All right, thanks, bye. And
She
they're like,
basically
"Bye."
wanted a novel with no struggle or like
Yeah. no stakes,
Yeah,
no
like-
issues. But I wrote it, and
And you got to see Hellboy.
and I got to see Hellboy.
How was that movie? I don't remember your review on it. I never saw it, so.
I'm sure it's because of the amount of work I had to do to see it, but I think it's one of the best movies ever made.
Okay. I mean, the amount of work you had to do to see it would probably help.
No, I watched it kind of recently, and I'm like, it is genuinely a really fun movie.
Okay.
It's a really fun movie that, as a 13-year-old, I was like,
You're like, yeah.
nothing is ever gonna come close to Hellboy.
Unless someone makes you write a 100-page novel to
Right.
go
If
see
that
it.
ever happens again, then maybe that will become my new favorite movie. And obviously, I do now like some movies more than Hellboy, but like, there's a special place in my heart for Hellboy. But like, all this to say that like religion was a very big deal in our house.
Mm-hmm.
My parents were very strict about it, and they're still very much like firm believers in it.
Yeah.
And religion is ultimately the reason I decided to stop talking to my dad, because I realized I moved out to LA in 2015, and that was such a huge issue for him,
That you moved here?
that I wanted to move here, that I wanted to be in film, that I wanted to pursue something that wasn't like,
Because it was like the devil's work or whatever.
no, he was firmly convinced that Hollywood is a land of devils and criminals, and like the most evil possible people work in this industry.
All the conservatives, that's not even a religious thing. It's just like conservatives in general. Like,
But they use religion to like paint that image.
LA
that, like,
is very demonized. And like, yeah, there are some shitty people
Of
here.
course there are.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, look at the Epstein files. There's a lot of celebrities in there. But like,
Yeah.
there's 10 million people currently in this city.
Yeah.
Like, there's really cool people here. There's so much to do. The weather's good all the fucking time. Like, it's expensive, but like, I'd rather be poor in LA than live anywhere else. You know, like, you
Yeah.
can be gay here, you can be trans here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I just feel like, I also feel like there's an element of jealousy with people that don't,
probably. Yeah. I mean,
you know,
it's-
have
it's-
something bad to say about people that live here.
Yeah.
But
Like when Me Too happened, and like people in Hollywood started getting canceled.
yeah.
He called me to basically brag. He was like, "See, I told you. I said they were full of disgusting evil men.
That's
and
the world. The
demons
world
and
is disgusting and evil men.
And
like,
then he
and he's one of them. You've told me some shit.
Yes,
Like,
yes. And he went so far as to say, like, it's just so funny to me that your chosen industry is dealing with this problem now when my industry solved this problem in the 80s.
what was his industry?
Business.
Oh God!
He worked for a power tool company, and he was like,
No way! Are you serious?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
yes, he worked for several power tool companies in their marketing department. And he was convinced that like back in the 80s, he was like, oh, you couldn't even give a girl a back massage without her running
Yeah.
to HR and complaining about it. So we all learned that we couldn't, do anything. And so that all just stopped.
Yeah, good as it fucking should. Like,
And I was like-
no shit, Sherlock.
And I was like, first of all,
Why do you think Me Too's fucking happening?
I was like,
Like-
first of all, it didn't stop. It didn't.
I mean, it still happens, you know.
Yeah.
But like, if they stopped at their office, good.
But they also didn't stop at his workplace. Like several more people over the next several decades were all fired for those
doing
things.
that, as
it
they
just
should.
was like brushed under the like they didn't tell everyone why it happened.
Yeah.
But like besides the point, like we had a screaming blowout drag out fight like a few months before I moved out here because we had gone to see the new James Bond movie.
Okay.
And we went to go see that, and we went back, and we were staying with my sister. We were staying at her apartment in Kentucky at the time. I just wanted to have a conversation about the movie. I was like, what did everyone think of the movie? And my mom was like, yeah, it was kind of fun. And my dad was like, all these Hollywood movies, they all got to get their little digs in on Christianity. They all just want you to know that we're the bad guys, and and he went on this like long thing, and he just went on and on about his like Hollywood is evil, Christianity is good,
Yeah.
you're choosing sin, blah blah blah, and it got so heated. And
Yeah.
my mom was the one to finally step in and be like, "Look, you have to understand that you're not just insulting Hollywood, you're insulting your child's passion, your child's interest, your child's love, and the thing that your child wants to do with their life. Like,
Yeah.
this is you're going to make it so they never want to come home again."
Yeah.
Verbatim said that. A little bit later, I'm in LA and I had a job working at the Oscars.
Okay.
This was in early 2018.
Okay.
I told this story in one of our recent episodes where I put up a meme on Facebook that was like a joke about Christianity. And then I turned off my phone because you're not allowed to have your phone when you're working at the Oscars. And I was there for like 6 hours, whatever, helped all the celebrities get their seats, whatever.
Yeah.
And then after the event, took the bus back to my car. They gave us our phones back. I turned it back on, opened Facebook, had like hundreds of comments on this meme. Most of them were in response to my dad's response, who had responded to this meme with a novel telling me that I was a shame, I was a disgrace on the family, that I was
What the fuck?
that I should be ashamed of myself.
Oh,
that-
so your dad was kind of like my parents, but like not behind closed doors, like just would
Did
act
it
like that in front of people.
literally, and claimed that the reason he was so upset is because I was doing it in a place that people could see.
Well, he's doing it in a place that people can see.
That's
What?
literally my point. I was like, you're doing this on Facebook. You should have
Everyone
texted
can
me.
see you
Yeah.
being an asshole.
Yeah,
like,
your word, and all of the comments in response to him were like, "Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, like,
you sound
chill
like an
out."
asshole." I'm Christian and I thought the meme was funny. Like, it was just a bunch of people like supporting me,
yeah, and ripping
tearing
him to
my dad a
shreds,
new
as
asshole.
they should. Yeah,
And I looked at it and I just went, all of these people are right.
yeah,
My dad sucks.
yeah. Every time you tell me stories about your dad, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. When my sister was in high school, he used to call her friends sluts because he heard a story
Yeah,
about
I remember you told me that.
He's a disgusting,
He's disgusting.
despicable human being.
Because who looks at a child and thinks of them that way and calls them something like
That's
that?
what
What a
I'm
fucking
saying.
weirdo.
So I decided that night that I was done and I never spoke to him again. The
Good.
night that Shape of Water won Best Picture. Like, that's
So random.
I know, but that movie will always remind me of the day I broke up with my dad, you know, like, and the reason that like my relationship started to fall out with my mom is because every single time that we spoke from that day on, she would basically just, the whole conversation would be, you have to talk to your dad. You have to talk to your dad. And I'd be like, I have drawn a line. I'm never going to speak to him again
Yeah.
until he is willing to humble himself and apologize to me.
and men
and-
like that won't.
And she said, well, he said he has nothing to apologize for. And I was like, well,
Well, then fuck
then my
'em.
line is in the
Then
sand.
fuck them.
Yeah.
Like,
And it got to the point where like my mom would call me and I just knew she was just going to talk. And I would put the phone down and I would go do other shit. And I would come back and she would still just be talking and specifically talking about how I needed to talk to my dad. And it got to a place where like if I saw her name come up on the phone, the anxiety spike.
yeah.
The the next several hours of my life are gonna suck. And
Yeah.
I told her, I said, look, if you don't stop doing this, I'm gonna stop talking to you too.
yeah.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
This is a boundary for me. I will not listen to you tell me that I have to talk to someone who abuses me. I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah. And it's like you're an adult. You should be able to make your own choices.
Literally. I told her that several times over several conversations over several months. And at the end of it, I said, this is the last straw. This is it. I'm not joking around. If you bring it up again, I'm hanging up on you and I'm blocking your number. And that's what happened. And before I blocked her, it was around the time I had sort of just figured out that I was trans, but I hadn't sort of come out yet.
Okay.
And I sent her a text. I was like, I told you that this was my boundary and you have broken it too many times. And also, I think you should know that I'm about to do something with my life that I don't even care if you care about, but I'm trans and I'm going to transition.
Oh, so when you first blocked your mom is when you came out to her. Wow.
I can't. I was like, I'm not. She's gonna miss it when I come out because I'm gonna do it soon, and
And
she
you blocked
would
her
have
before
seen it.
she responded, right?
Correct. Yeah, I sent the text, blocked her on Facebook, blocked her everywhere, blocked her email. Just fully, it was just like, I'm done.
Okay, I have a question. How do you think you... I feel like setting boundaries, even especially with parents, I always had a hard time setting boundaries with
So
my
did
parents.
I. Absolutely. Yeah.
And like, we both have boomer parents, same age group. It's hard to set boundaries with boomers. They don't really respect them. Where along the way do you feel like you figured out how to A, just set boundaries in general, but B, like also set them with your parents? Because I feel like I never set a boundary with my parents until like maybe last year. Like,
honestly, I was in therapy, and this is
yeah, that helps.
I was in
Yeah.
therapy. This is another important part of the story because this is another reason I decided to cut her off. So I was in a cult. I've told that story on this podcast, the episode Chloe was in a cult. It's out there if you're interested in hearing that whole story. So I was in this cult and I was repeatedly raped over the course of a year.
Mm-hmm.
It was an incredibly traumatic experience, and I was not okay at the end of it. I had triggers, PTSD, like I couldn't hold down a job. I was like lashing out at
Yeah.
people out of nowhere.
fucks
I was
you up.
I was severely fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like my mom would call me and be like, "Hey, you need to talk to your dad," and I'd be like, "Go fuck yourself," and hang up the like. It was like intense, over the top, unacceptable reactions to things that like, but like that, whatever. There's a lot here.
Mm-hmm.
My mom kept like reaching out to me and being like, "I know that what happened to you was terrible, and if you want, we will pay for a lawyer to see if we can sue him and get him to go to jail." And I was like, that would be cool. I also have spoken to lawyers, and I don't think that there's no evidence.
Most rapists don't face any consequences, even if they're
Yes.
found guilty. Look at Trump.
Yeah,
That doesn't happen. It's not realistic. It's unfortunate, but it's not realistic.
exactly. And I was like,
Yeah.
if you do that, you're basically going to waste a lot of money going down a path that's not going to happen.
Re-traumatize you
It's gonna-
for him to
it's-
not
yes.
face consequences.
I said, if you do this, it's going to hurt me more than help me.
Yeah.
And if you want to actually help me, take whatever amount of money you were going to spend on lawyers and put it towards a therapist.
Yeah.
If you pay for therapy for me, we might have a path to me being okay and trusting you again. So they started paying for therapy. It was much like you were saying in your story, like after a couple months, they were like, how much longer is this going to go?
Yeah.
My mom would call me and be like, so you've been going for a couple months. You're like,
You're better now, right?
Yeah. Like how much more is there? And I was like, you haven't come close to the cost of what a lawyer would have been. So
Why are
Shut
you
up.
asking me that?
you know,
Yeah.
like it truly, like I'm going to know when I'm okay.
Yeah.
And by this point in the therapy, like I'd been going long enough that I had been talking to the therapist about, why do you think you accepted this treatment from this cult leader? Like, why do you think you were susceptible to this, like, man breaking down your boundaries and pushing past them? And why do you think that you, like, didn't resist any of it? Like, what do you think that was? And I was like, I mean, if I really think about it, it's because for my entire childhood, I was never allowed to express my actual feelings. I was supposed to, like, it truly didn't matter. We moved like 6 times when I was a kid. Every couple years we moved. We would just uproot my life, move us somewhere else. And it was not like we were a military family, which that happens to. It was just because like my dad wanted a better paying job up the corporate ladder. And it was all for his ego, It was like, honestly, Breaking Bad helped me realize that like, because he would always say like, I'm doing this for you, you know, and then like
Yeah.
watching Breaking Bad and being like,
It's like, no.
but
Yeah.
you're fucking not though. Like
Yeah.
you're clearly doing it for you. And,
Yeah.
and when he at the end of the series is like, I was doing it for me. I'm like,
like,
oh
yeah.
shit. Okay. Like that.
And Heisenberg was a
honestly,
narcissist.
Yes, he was. Yeah, so like we would move all the time and it was always the same thing. Like my mom would come and sit me down and be like, "Hey, like it's a lot like the movie Inside Out like rocked me because that movie's about them moving and they sit the mom sits the girl down and is like, "Hey, so we really need you to like be okay because your dad's really struggling." And like that whole movie is about her like suppressing her feelings, and that movie fucking rocked me because that exact thing happened to me as a kid where we would move and my mom would be like, we really need you to not make this a big deal because you know how your younger siblings are like really problematic and they cause a lot of drama and that makes us not really want to help them. Like it was manipulation by way of like threat, but like we love you so much.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
if you express what you're actually feeling, it's going to be a problem. Like we're going to treat you the way that we treat your younger siblings.
Yeah.
And what was happening with them was, as you know, my younger sister was sent to the same program that you were.
Yeah.
So like that was on the table as like
Yeah.
a threat. Like something that could happen to you is we will just send you away to child prison.
That happened with my sister. I talked to her about it because she has like an anxiety disorder and she like is very much like, I have to follow the rules. And we talked about it one time. I was like, why are you like this? And she's like, I don't know. Like after you got sent away, I was really afraid of them doing the same thing to me. So I got perfect grades. I did everything right. I didn't go out and party. It got to a point where my parents would beg my little sister to go to a fucking house party with her friends. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, well,
I
if you
was
didn't
not
want her to be
allowed.
like that, why'd you do the opposite extreme to me?
Yeah.
But yeah, my sister was kind of like, you were the sister that my sister was in the family dynamic where it was just like afraid of being,
Yep.
it's fucked up.
Yep. And so I was petrified to express myself, my actual feelings, anything about myself.
Yeah.
Like my entire childhood was just suppressing my feelings to make my parents happy. And I played the role of like the peacemaker because my family fought a lot. Everyone was constantly fighting and I did not enjoy being in a chaos house. So I would be the one to go have a conversation individually with each person, figure out what their beef was, and then go talk to the other people and be like, this is what you got to do to make this right.
Yeah.
Like I was the one who had that skill.
And you were a kid.
And I was
like,
a child. And I was like basically my parents' therapist.
Yeah, I feel that
we could
too.
go down a whole rabbit hole of like how my mom sort of like, what's it called? I can't even remember. I read a book. It's called like When Parents Make Their Kids Their Husband.
oh, emotional incest or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Because my dad traveled a lot for work.
Yeah.
Like my dad was constantly gone. And when he was gone, my mom would be like, well, you have to sleep in my bed. And so I would sleep in her bed and like I would have to give her like back massages and even times where I was like, I don't want to. Like one time I literally said, I don't want to sleep in your bed. And she beat me with a shoe. Like it was to an extreme degree where I was not allowed to say no. I was not allowed to express my feelings. I was not
You
so
couldn't
many
set boundaries.
Yes.
What the fuck?
I could not set boundaries. And so when I
didn't
start
know
going
that.
to
Damn.
this therapist, she's like, why do you think you never set a boundary with this guy who like raped you for a year?
'Cause you
And I
couldn't.
was like, well, this is my experience with my parents. And she was like, I think we should stop talking about the guy who raped you and start talking about your parents and your relationship with your parents. So therapy became about them. It wasn't even about the cult anymore. Because like anything that happened to me in the cult,
It relates back to your upbringing.
yeah. And like, even though the cult shit like fucked me up, those memories were triggering other memories.
Yeah.
You know, like I was like, we can't heal this trauma unless we heal my childhood trauma. Like if we fix that, then we heal that. Like just by proxy, we heal the cult shit, because the cult shit was just like a byproduct.
Everything's
wasn't like-
a byproduct of your upbringing.
Exactly. And so I think at a certain point, I started setting boundaries. Like the first boundary was because the way that my mom was giving me money for the therapist is every time I had a therapy appointment, she would log into my bank account and she would deposit the exact dollar amount that the therapist cost. And then she would watch as the therapist like withdrew it. And she would like verify that I was spending it on the therapist and not something else.
That's I feel that.
Because she no matter what, she didn't trust me.
Yeah.
And so the therapist at a certain point was like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Like, you should try where you say, you change your bank password and you say, send me checks and still come to see me, you know, like,
Yeah.
if you want, I'll charge you less. And we can make you a little money out of this. I was like, okay, cool. Thanks, therapist.
Because
Like-
seriously, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, you went through a traumatic thing she knew about and you asked for therapy and she doesn't trust that you're going to therapy about that?
Literally.
About getting raped?
Literally. And so
What the fuck?
And so I did that. I called my mom after therapy that day and I was like, hey, so my therapist is telling me that I should try to not let you have access to my bank account anymore. And my mom was not happy about that.
I'm sure she wasn't.
And she was like, I don't know if I like this therapist.
I have a disdain for your mother that I didn't have before because I did not know all of this.
Yeah. I had a better relationship with her, but mostly just because she was around and she would outsource the punishments to my dad. Like, he was a psychopath, but
Yeah.
part of his psychopathy was her telling him to do it.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, like, she would just have had enough and she would, like, wander off and go do silent treatment mode for a while.
Yeah.
And then our dad would come home and he would go talk to her in the bedroom. And then he would come out and just he'd be like, all right, who's getting spankings today? Like, and he'd line us up and we'd just get whatever basically was assigned. Like, she just didn't want to do it. She made us hate him more, which was easier. But
Yeah.
obviously, like, they both deserved it.
Yeah.
And shortly after I changed my bank password, the next check that she sent me was half the amount that it should have been. And I was like, what is this? And she was like, well, I think it's time to start weaning off the therapist. And I was like,
Oh, because she wasn't in control of it anymore.
correct. And I was like, but I still need this. Like, this is
And she doesn't
I'm
care
not.
because she makes everything about herself.
correct. And she was like, I just think we've spent enough on
She
this.
didn't get to control every
and
little
I
thing
think
and
it's
know what.
time to start weaning you off the therapist.
Fuck your mom.
And I was like, I don't agree, and neither does the therapist. And she's like, well, the therapist wouldn't because she's getting our money. And I was like, it's not about the money. It's about the fact that, like, I was abused.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I'm not okay. And I'm trying to be okay. And she just stopped sending the checks. And she was like, well, I feel like it's been enough time and you're probably good now. You have a job.
Oh, so she was gonna tell you how you felt about what happened to you? Fuck
Yeah.
her.
And I got a job again. She was like, you seem like you're good. You seem like you're all better. And so I had a lot of disdain around that. And then couple that with the fact that, like, every conversation we had, she was like, by the way, you have to talk to your dad. And I was in a relationship with someone. That person was also a narcissist. You know this. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say their name. But I was in a relationship with them, and they were the person that I really practiced setting boundaries with. They were never cool with the boundaries.
Of course not.
But I stuck to them.
Hell yeah.
I was like, look, this is my boundary. And if you can't respect the boundary, we're breaking up.
yeah, then fuck you.
And
yeah.
they were also, like, sort of relying on me paying half the rent and, like, buying all their groceries and basically funding their whole fucking life. So they would, like, they would largely respect them.
Yeah.
And so I started to get practice, like, setting boundaries. I'm still not amazing at it. I'm still not perfect. But, like, by the time it came to it's time to set a boundary with my mom, and the boundary is I'm not going to talk to you anymore, I'd had enough practice that it was kind of
that
easy.
you were ready for it.
I was
yeah.
ready. And also, there was also the part of it where I was, like, protecting myself from potential rejection, because I was like, I'm about to come out as trans and like it's going to be a whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
That's when I decided that like I was done. And I was done for like 3 years.
Yeah, because I know you came back around and talked to your mom and your sister for a little bit
Yeah.
too, because you
Yeah.
were in contact with them when we had met.
And I'd stopped talking to my sister like shortly before I stopped talking to my mom for
Yeah.
just like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but like it was COVID and like she had voted for Trump and she was about to vote for Trump again. I was like, I just can't like, and I can't even tell you that like it's about to be affecting me personally even more that you're doing this, but I just
they don't
can't.
care.
They don't care. Because when I finally did tell her that like it's directly affecting me, she was like, yeah, but I care about unborn babies more. Like like literally.
I hate that argument because I'm like, you don't though, because I mean, Trump's in the Epstein files.
Yeah.
He was raping freshly born babies or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just like to make themselves feel morally superior. We're not going to get into the MAGA
No,
shit. But
we don't need to talk about that.
did you ever get, so I have a quick, because I got spanked a lot as a kid too. And there have been a few moments where like me and my mom are arguing and like I've like pushed her and then she's like hit me or something. Like, did you ever get gaslit about like the spanking not being that bad if you brought it up?
Always.
Yeah.
Every time.
Because I feel like until like very recently, I would always like, whatever, I got spanked, it's fine. But it's just like that teaches you like unhealthy like communication styles even.
It teaches you that it is acceptable for someone who loves you to hit you.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's
Or
what it
that
teaches
violence is a way to
you.
work
That
shit out.
violence is a natural and acceptable response to emotions. The worst one was one time, like, next to our house, there was a long path that went down through the woods and through, like, this crazy swamp. But at the end of the path was a lake. And our family had a boat. And there was one day in particular, we were all down at the dock. It was, like, getting dark. Sun was going down. It was really humid. And there were a lot of mosquitoes out.
Okay.
She was like, just grab whatever you can. I think it's about to rain soon. Just get back to everybody, grab as much as you can and get back to the house as fast as you can. I'm going to finish like buttoning up the boat and then I'll meet you back up there. So I'm carrying like 2 giant inflatable inner tubes over my shoulders. And I also am like wearing like 9 life jackets. Like all the life jackets are on me. So I like can't put my arms down, which was a little helpful in carrying the inner tubes, but also like I was very like stuck in this position. And I'm like hiking up this path as fast as I can. And there's a huge hill. Like goes from this swamp, up this massive hill up to our house. I'm going up this hill. My legs hurt so much because I look down, there are about 15 mosquitoes just on my legs, all biting me at the same time. I am like sweating and it's like about to start rain. Like at that point, I think it had started raining. I'm like getting bit by mosquito and I was just like so frustrated and so like in physical pain and like my muscles are hurting because I'm carrying all this shit.
This shit, yeah.
And so I just like let out this like frustrated scream. I was just like, ah!
Yeah.
And then continued on the way, went back to the house, threw all the shit down, went inside, took a shower, sat down, started watching TV. My mom comes back to the house and she goes, "Hey, come in here for a second. I want to talk to you about something." And I was like, "Okay." And so I followed her into her room and she was like, "Just lay down for a second." And I was like, "Why would I need to lay down for us to talk?" And she was like, "Just lay down for a second." And she had grabbed sort of a dress shoe with like a hard sole.
Yeah.
And she just started hitting me on my butt, on my legs, on my
what?
back. And I was like, what are you doing? And she just kept, and she was going and she was going. And for probably 30 seconds, she was just hitting me with this shoe. And she finally stopped because her hand hurt because she had carpal tunnel. And she blamed me for making her carpal tunnel act up. She was like, look what you did. You made my carpal. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that was you.
Yeah, like
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
you chose to do this.
This was on you. And I finally got the answer out of her why she did that. She said, "Well, you screamed."
What the fuck?
And I was like what do you mean I scream? And she was like, "I heard you scream and I thought that a serial killer murdered you." I was like,
Oh, so you're gonna beat me about it? Yeah.
you thought a serial killer killed me, so you're gonna beat me up? Like, what are you teaching me right now? So, like, it was never healthy dynamics. It was never a solid relationship. And, like, I do sometimes, because she has Alzheimer's now, and she doesn't remember any of that shit. And so she wants to have, like, a normal or she wants to just have as many positive memories as possible before she, like, forgets everything. And I'm like, just hold on to the ones you have, because, like, fuck you.
Yeah, like, my memories suck, so
Yeah, all of my
whatever.
memories are bad. Why would I
Lose your fucking mind
Yeah.
and don't have me around.
Yeah,
Like,
any like positive memories that I could give to you would be positive for you because I would be suppressing myself,
Yeah.
which would make me unhappy and would make me remember you poorly.
Yeah.
Like,
It's crazy how, like, the boomers had great lives leading up to this point, but I feel like because so many like younger people have like woken up and realized that our boomer parents were abusive to us.
yeah.
And so it kind of evens out in a way because they're all gonna die lonely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the trade-off. Like, you were a piece of shit to us. You had it easy. You got to buy a fucking house for a nickel or whatever,
Literally.
you know, and things weren't so bad for you. The economy was booming when you were growing up, and because you wanted to be a psychopath piece of shit and be abusive to your kids, you get to die alone. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of the trade-off.
And basically, like, all they have left is, like, talking to each other on Facebook about how their ungrateful kids don't talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
cool, go bitch
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like,
yeah.
and it's like they'll never see where they went wrong. It's always our fault.
Yeah. Like, my dad used to, like, if I ever, like, talked back, if I ever disagreed with him, which usually I would only do if he was saying something that was, like, unequivocally incorrect about, like, math or science.
Yeah, which is fair. You know a lot
Because
about math
I
and science.
was
Yeah,
very good
that's
at
your
those
shit.
things.
Yeah.
And so if he was going on something and it would just, like, it would get to a point where I'd be like, you're wrong. Like, that's not how that works. He would drag me over. We had the 10 Commandments on the wall in our house. He would drag me over to the 10 Commandments and stick my face in front of him and point to the one that said, honor thy father and mother. And he'd be like, read that one out loud to me. Read it out loud. What does that say? And I'd be like, it says honor thy father and mother. And he'd be like, is that what you were doing just now? Were you
You're like, it's
honoring
not backed by science, so fuck you.
And I was like, I would say, yes, that's what I was doing by not allowing you to be wrong.
Be stupid, yeah.
And he never appreciated that.
Of course not.
But I was like, you're asking me to just let you lie.
Yeah.
Like, you've also told me that one says thou shalt not lie.
That's the problem.
This is contradictory. Your shit is bullshit.
I've noticed this about that generation too, boomers. They're all delusional. And they want you to feed their delusions.
I think it's the lead poisoning, honestly.
I swear to God.
I don't think it's even their
Bitch,
fault.
I
but,
swear
like,
to God. I don't give a fuck. This is the
I
other
know,
thing. So
I
this
know.
is another thing I think about, because the silent generation before them,
Yeah.
the kids that lived through the Great Depression. My grandparents from that era, like on my dad's side, my grandparents, like, they were, you know, kids of immigrants, and they were like broke farmers. My mom's side, they were like broke rednecks that, you know, grew up in the fucking Great Depression and had fucking nothing. So, like, I feel like that kind of trauma from the economy and struggling and not having like therapy or emotional intelligence to guide you, like, you would end up being a shitty parent.
Yeah.
And so then they got all of the trauma, but things were good for them. So they're like living in this state of delusion where everything's good for them. So they don't want
the
anything to like
economy's
break
booming,
that.
they have
you
tons
know?
of money,
Yeah,
everything's
and so
going
if
the way it's supposed to
if you do
go.
one little thing that goes wrong, it's like, no, like, I am in my happy
like, you're
place.
the
I had
problem
you
here.
so you'd make me happy.
yeah.
Like,
I was happy until you got here,
Yeah.
basically.
and that's the other thing too. Like, my parents will never admit it to me, but like, I don't think either of them wanted to be parents. They might have in the moment because it's what they've been told their whole life to do. But like, I think my parents would have been happier if they never had us. And like, that's a big reason I don't want fucking kids. You know, like, especially now, like, the fucking economy's in shambles.
I know.
I'm not fucking raising a kid in this. I also don't want to
Absolutely
ever
not.
do childbirth, but even like adopting a kid, like, I don't think I'd be a good parent. And like, I don't think that generation could like reason with themselves enough to really like, hey, maybe we don't have to have kids, and also maybe this
Maybe
would be
we don't
bad.
need to have like 8 of them. Like,
Yeah. Or like don't have kids. That's the thing though. So many boomers are fucking narcissists.
it's what happens when you are raised by someone who says that they love you, but also treats you like nothing
Like
about
shit.
your life actually matters.
Yeah.
Like, I love you and your existence, but I don't love anything about you. You are not worth
Yeah.
getting to know, but I love you.
That's exactly how I felt growing up. It was just like,
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't give a shit about anything. Like, I remember the day I tried to teach my dad to play Magic.
Wait, did you really?
Yeah.
I bet that didn't go well.
No, it did not. He truly could, like, he could not grasp his.
Did he get really mad and flip the table?
He got mad and flipped the deck off the table.
Your dad, every
Yes.
time you tell me about him, because I know he's short, which is crazy, but it's like the short man syndrome thing, the fucking Napoleon
Yes.
complex
Yeah.
shit. Like, that's what he gives in every story.
We made it to like turn 2, and I was explaining that like he didn't have enough mana to cast his spell.
He's like, yes, I do.
He was like, "Oh, well, then what are the fucking rules here?"
That's what I'm
And I was like, "Look,
You have to have enough mana.
I was like, 2 plus blue means 3. That the 2 is a 2, and then the blue is a 1, so that's 2 plus 1, which is 3." And he was like, "There's a 2 on it, isn't there?" And I was like, "Okay, well, thanks for trying, and have a nice night. I'm gonna go back to deck building." Like,
That's what I mean, though. They're like delusional to a point where it's like everything has to work out in their favor, and if it doesn't, they're going to take it out on you. Like,
yeah. It was incredibly difficult at first to maintain the no contact thing, but like it got easier, and the more distance I got, the more like my anxiety lifted, and like I
Yeah.
felt more comfortable. And this is all even before I started hormones. Like,
Yeah.
I just like there was this weight that was off
lift
of me.
it off of you, yeah.
And I genuinely think like that weight lifting away and disappearing from my life allowed me to check in and see the weight that was remaining. And I was like, fuck, that's gender dysphoria. But with the pressing weight of my parents on top of me, I could not identify that was a
that
separate
was
thing
a separate thing you were experiencing.
from just like the crushing weight of like expectation.
Trying to emotionally regulate your fucking parents.
Exactly. Yeah. And they expected me to be a very specific type of man. And my mom had a very specific
And
image
you're not,
for what a
yeah.
man is supposed to be. And she was like, she was almost worse on me than like the boys at school in terms of like dictating what a man is supposed to be. Like, my dad was terrible. He was, he had a very specific set of rules. And my mom had a different set of rules. Like, my dad was like, this is what a man's supposed to be. And my mom was like, don't listen to your father. This is what a man's supposed to be. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck
And you're
a
like,
man is
I'm not a
supposed to be."
man, so I don't, yeah.
I don't know what the fuck a man's supposed to be, but I know everything that everyone is telling me a man's supposed
It's
to be.
not me.
I hate. I just don't want to do any of it.
yeah.
I just thought it was because they all sucked, So for a long time, I was like, eventually I'll find somebody out. I'll find a man that I'm like, that's the kind of man I want to be. And I just never did.
And you just
And I
weren't.
just
Yeah.
never did. And even when I started finding like positive examples of men, I was like, yeah, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, and again, it took parents out of life, healing from trauma, healing from cult, healing from all this shit before I could finally like, oh, I'm not a guy.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Chloe. Yeah.
Oh, this makes so much sense now. Yeah. But like, it's impossible to sort of unravel all the shit the way that it did, because like life is weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm gonna say the same thing that I said, because like when we were like getting to know each other, you at one point had asked me, how did you decide to stop talking to your parents, and like what was that like? And I sent you like a 20-minute voice note.
I remember, yeah.
I was, and because I want to be very clear, and I want to be clear here that like that is not a decision that is for everyone. It's not a decision that anyone should take lightly.
Yeah.
It's not like,
Because it is a big thing.
yes.
Yeah.
It's a huge
It's
deal.
life-changing.
Like,
yeah.
your relationship has to truly be beyond repair. Because otherwise, like, you're taking on, because it hurt, even if your parents suck, because both of our parents suck.
Yeah.
Even when that is the case, stopping talking to them is painful.
It is. I feel like I'm grieving every day.
Yeah.
I try to not think about it because it's just like it's hard, and I
It's
don't
hard.
know that I'm ever gonna talk to them again.
Yeah, it's heavy. It makes you feel completely rudderless and unmoored.
It's like grieving a person that hasn't died.
yeah. And suddenly,
And the trade-off is you can live your life and be
Yes.
yourself, and that's what's so fucked up about
and
it.
the other scary part of it is like, now you suddenly have so much freedom to be whatever you want to be. And that limitless choice is crippling sometimes. It can be mortifying.
Yeah.
If you don't have healthy parents who just have always encouraged you to be what you want to be.
Yeah.
If you always had like basically bumpers on your lane at bowling, if they're like, this is the only path you can go down, and you just remove the bumpers, you're like, oh, fuck. Not only did I thought I should just switch to that other lane, but
Yeah.
maybe I don't even want to be in the bowling alley.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe like why am I even in the bowling alley? I was
Yeah.
born here. I thought like I just have to choose the right lane. And now I'm like, what if I want to go fucking build an airplane outside in the parking lot? Like, what if I want to travel? Like, it's crazy. It's a lot. And I don't think that the correct answer for everyone is to break up with their parents. I don't.
I don't either. I made a TikTok about this the other day because one person was like, I was talking to like the trans people that follow me. I was just like, hey, like something about it's okay if you're trans. And then somebody commented, well, but my parents think I'm a disappointment. And I made a video response to that person. And I was like, look, I'm not trans. I am a bisexual that leans gay, and I went no contact with my parents. And I like specified at the beginning of the video, like, I am not saying you should do this. It might not be for you. Because it is a very big decision to make. It gives you a lot of freedom, but also it is a very sad path to take.
It's costly. It's
Yeah.
emotionally costly.
It is. It is emotionally distressing.
And if it's not something you absolutely need to do, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. It's more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah.
If it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
But also, if you feel like you can't be yourself and live your life and it's because of your parents, it might be a good choice. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if I feel like I've told the whole story.
I feel you.
I feel like I'm done.
Yeah. What's your like takeaway from going no contact?
My takeaway is I made the correct choice for me. It was absolutely the correct choice for me. I don't regret it. The main thing I regret is like thinking that me going no contact for long enough would make them realize they'd been wrong. And like going back and being like, okay, I'm giving you a second chance because I thought because I was spending that time like learning and growing and developing myself that they must be too. But they were not. They had not learned or grown or thought about any of the stuff and were absolutely unwilling to take any accountability or culpability or whatever. And so I regret not sticking to my guns fully and completely. But the takeaway is I am ultimately much better and happier for doing it.
Yeah.
I have a much more stable life than I ever did before.
Yeah.
Also, like, when you let go of that much anxiety, I realized that, like, the drive that I had, the need to, like, overwork myself and, like, succeed, so much of that was to prove them wrong.
I used to have that too, where it's like, I'm gonna get really rich and like super famous so they'll be proud of me.
Right.
And now I'm like, I don't care if I get famous or rich. I would just
Yeah.
like to pay my bills and do shit I enjoy.
Yes.
I never thought about my own enjoyment before.
Yes.
And now I do. I'm like, I want to do shit I like
100%.
doing.
I would
Yeah.
rather make just an amount of money to survive and do something I like than be wildly successful. Like
Yeah.
my ambitions have come way the fuck down
Yeah.
to ground level.
Yeah.
And it would not have happened if I was still talking to them.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know I was, but I was filtering all of my wants and my desires
Through your parents.
through
I used to do
their
that
perception
too.
of me.
Yeah.
You just, I don't think there's a way to know yourself truly and still have a relationship with your parents. I don't.
I agree. Especially if you got boomer parents.
Unless you had like good parents who helped you discover yourself.
Yeah,
And,
if
like,
you have
took
parents
an
that let
interest
you
in
be yourself, yeah.
Then sure, you can totally. But
Yeah,
like,
but if you have authoritarian style parents, like,
I don't think you can know. I don't think it's possible.
no.
And I think so many of like the worst humans in this world are just people who never figured that out.
Yeah,
And that's unfortunate.
it's sad.
Like I don't look at Trump and think like, oh yeah, his parents loved him.
No, I don't think anyone in Trump's cabinet had parents that loved them.
No, I think they were like, it's the everyone is 12. The reason everyone is 12 is
because they're still reliving that part of
because
their
they're still
life.
acting like a 12-year-old trying to make their parents proud.
Yes, yeah.
Like that's everyone's just trying to make mommy and daddy happy.
Do you feel like your brain fully developed after you stopped talking to your parents? Because that's how I feel.
Sort of. Yeah. I think I don't know if I'd say it quite like that, but I would say that like my emotionality did.
Yeah, I feel like I became more mature after I stopped speaking to my parents, if that makes sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
it absolutely does. I know I did. I know
Yeah.
that's true for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the brain developing or if it's just like, I don't know that it necessarily has to do with that. I think it's just emotional intelligence.
Yeah, because I feel like when you're doing everything to make your parents happy, you're like stuck in an immature like headspace.
Yeah.
You're
absolutely.
like acting
Yeah.
the way a child would. Like I felt like even when I had my own apartment and was paying my own bills and like had my own shit going on, like I still felt under control, like under the control of my parents. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of puts you in a state of like being an immature person. Like it makes you kind of childlike because you're like doing things to appease these people that like you're an adult. Like grow up. You know what I mean? Like this was good. This was like a therapy session. I feel like. I feel
Yeah,
like I got
kinda.
like certain things to click in my brain from your story.
Yeah.
I feel like I figured out a few things from mine. I need to go back to therapy.
Therapy's good. I recommend
is.
therapy. I miss
It
therapy.
is. Yeah, me too.
I haven't been since the money ran out from my parents that they were paying for therapy. Because that was, that was my therapy money.
That was the last time I went too. Yeah.
But I would love to go to therapy. No, I paid for it myself for a little bit. Yeah. I paid for just on like BetterHelp. I had like a therapist for
My parents were
little
paying
while.
for BetterHelp.
Okay.
Yeah. They were paying for BetterHelp and complaining about the cost and
That's
also
crazy.
asking.
BetterHelp's the cheaper
it's
one.
dirt fucking cheap.
Yeah,
and are you
that's-
done already? And they're worth millions of dollars.
It's insane.
Like I had friends from high school that would be like, "Oh, you don't talk to your family anymore, and like you're a stripper." I thought like maybe your parents were giving you money, and I'm like, "No, I've been stripping for a decade. My parents don't give me shit. Like my parents
They've bailed me out
hold
of
it
a
over my
couple
head
jams.
and don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they bailed me out a few times, but like they're so cheap about it, and like it's no, I'm like doing shit on my own."
Yep. Fully and completely.
And honestly, I'm just as financially stressed as I was before when they were helping me because it wasn't the financial stress, it was my fucking
It was
parents.
just a different kind
It
of
was my
stress.
fucking parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're living through the Great Depression, so I think I'm doing okay.
Yeah. This is indeed another Great Depression. This is crazy.
Happy Great Depression.
Happy Great Depression. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Thanks for tuning in.
Hope you learned something.
Yes.
Hope this was entertaining for you. It's like watching us do therapy,
Right?
basically. Like, I don't know. Hopefully y'all got something out of it. But yeah, send us an email, leave a comment, like, subscribe, whatevs.
Leave us a review if you're one of the
Totally.
listeners on the audio platform.
Totally leave us a review.
Yeah.
Well, we love you.
Love you.
Happy to have you. And we'll see you next time
Bye.
for more stuff.
Lady and the Trans Podcast. Where we believe in science. We don't believe in God.